All right, guys, this is the agenda for ED 350 and 520 for February 2nd, 2017. Sorry I couldn't be there today, but I'm at a meeting I couldn't get away from. I want to talk to you about today's agenda, kind of walk you through the assignments you need to get done between now and next time. Now, in the previous class, we talked a little bit about this PowerPoint project. It's due on February 9th. By the way, before I get into that, make sure you go to the calendar in Canvas. Go ahead and open up the agenda for today from the calendar. You should be looking at what you're seeing on my screen right now. First thing I'm going to do is click on this link for PowerPoint project, open it up. I'll go ahead and click on the other link from this Dropbox as well. There's where you're going to find the directions. Open up that file. So for this presentation, you have to create a 10 to 15 slide PowerPoint about a topic in your content area that you think you're going to be teaching one day. There's some guidelines for just general outline and organization, but the things that I want to point to, your first slide should be a title with a date and your name, some kind of attention-grabbing saying or graphic. The second slide, I want to be a hyperlinked table of contents. That hyperlinked table of contents should include links to each main topic in your presentation. For example, if you're teaching about, say, the Civil War, you might have a link to the first slide about each of the battles. Or if you're teaching about, say, mitosis and cell division, you might have a link to each of the first slides about a particular stage, like prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. If you're teaching, say, a math lesson, might be a slide to, here's the first step you need to do to work this problem. Here's the second step. Here's the third step. From slide, and by the way, also on the slide master, you want to put on each slide a link back to the very first or to the table of contents slide. So on every slide, there should be either a link or a button that will take you back to your table of contents so that you don't have to manually scroll through that. And that link or button needs to be placed on the very top slide master so that it will go on every slide in your presentation. From slide 3 on, you're going to do your body. And in the very last slide, you're going to have some type of conclusion slide that sort of wraps up everything. Some technical requirements. Somewhere in your presentation, you need an embedded video. This is going to be a video that either you made and put in from your camera or phone, or that you downloaded from YouTube using YouTube Downloader or keepvid.com. We don't want this to be hyperlinked. We want this to be a video that's on your PC and then inserted into your PowerPoint. You need to have at least 4 graphics from any source. Those can be anywhere in your presentation. You want to alter the slide transitions to something other than a default. You want to use a build effect, at least on one slide in your presentation. Remember that the build effect is bringing in like one bulleted text item at a time. And you're going to set that up under animations. Also include at least one other animation other than that build effect. This could be moving a graphic around on the screen, bringing in multiple graphics at separate times, something like that. You want to include at least 3 hyperlinks to outside websites. Those websites should be related to your topic in some way or other. And you want to embed a sound file that plays continuously through at least 5 of your slides. You also set that up through animations. Be sure that that sound doesn't play over the top of your video. Check and make sure everything works. Save the file. It gives you some directions for how to name it. I don't really care what you name your file, but make sure that you save it and that you submit it through the Canvas Dropbox. Also make sure that by February 9th, the next time I see you, that you bring me a printed copy of your presentation. I want you to print it in handout mode using 6 slides on each page. Black and white will be fine for this. So I think that's it for the PowerPoint project. Let me switch gears now, go back to our schedule for today. If you remember a class or 2 ago, we set up an Edmodo account for you to use from the teacher side. Today we're going to set up a Canvas account that you're going to use from the teacher side. So this will be outside of UAH's Canvas setup. To do this, if you're looking on the agenda with me for today, you'll go to the URL linked on the agenda, www.canvaslms.com/trycanvas/try-canvas. It'll walk you through setting up an account. I also want you to complete the orientation course that is linked on the agenda. This will walk you through all the basics of how to do things from the teacher side as a Canvas user. There's also some teacher guides if you run into problems. You're going to set up in a Canvas account that includes certain items, pretty much just like we did with Edmodo. So notice the list begins with inviting me or one other person to join your course. So I'm going to go into the same Canvas page that you'll be using. Eventually, you're going to go to courses, and I'm going to go to plus course, which means to create a new course. I'm going to call mine ED 350 sample class. I'm going to leave mine set on private and copyrighted. Hit create course. Once we get there, the first thing on our agenda is to invite me and some other person from the class to your new Canvas course. To do that, you're going to go over to people. You're going to choose plus people. You simply type in the email address of the person you want to invite to the course. For me, use deand@uah.edu. Use the email address of at least one other person in the course and invite them. Make sure that their role is set to student and that they're going into the right class. Once you finish, hit next. The folks that are invited will get an email, and all they'll have to do to join your course is simply to click on the link and confirm their enrollment. Once you're finished with this, just close out this by hitting the X. The next thing on the agenda is to add in an assignment. So to do that, we're going to go over to Assignments. We're going to go to Plus Assignment. Give it a name. So I'll call this Practice Assignment. You can type all your assignment directions into this box, which I will begin to do. I have a file that's already has a bunch of directions. I use these assignments in one of my biology classes. So I'm going to upload that file that has the directions for the assignment. To do that, you scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you'll see Insert Content into this page. You want to choose Files, upload a new file, and choose File. So I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to open up a biology assignment that I've used with my own students. So you just locate the file. We'll use this Canvas assignment number 7. Click Open and Upload. And when you do that, it'll put a link in your direction box. So now my assignment is in. Now I scroll on down a little bit and I tell how many points I want it to be in. I'm going to make it be 100. If I have multiple assignments, I choose the category. Right now I only have assignments. Then you want to tell it how you want to turn things in. Typically the way that I would do this is I would have them turn in the assignments online and usually as a file upload. But you can choose different options. If this is something you want them to turn in on class, you can choose on paper or no submission. Either of those are fine. If you're using something like turnitin.com, you use external tool. But again, I'm going to do online and choose file uploads. Scroll on down a little bit. You tell it who to assign it to. If you have different sections set up in your course, like you have like first period, second period, third period, you could assign it to all of those students or to a section at a time. I'm going to assign it to everyone. You choose a due date. So I'm going to make it be due on the 27th. Actually, I'll make it be due after this class so you can see it. So I'll make it be due on the 9th. If you only want people to be able to see the assignment during certain dates or times, you can choose that as well. I'm not going to mess with that right now. Once you're finished, I'll go ahead and check notify users that the content has changed, so they'll get a notification, and then hit save and publish. That's it in terms of setting up an assignment. The next thing on my list is to add items to the calendar. To do that, you go over on the left to calendar. You go to the date for which you want to add something. So I'll go to February 2nd. You're going to click. You're going to give it a title. So I'll say class agenda. You make sure the right date is there. You make sure the right course is, or the right user is chosen there. And then you hit submit. Let's go back into that one for a second. I need to go back and hit edit. And I want to choose more options. And under more options, this is where I can type in the different things I want to say to my class for the day. So I could put in a bulleted agenda, like call roll, discuss PowerPoint, learn to set up a Canvas course. If you want to put in links, you can do that from the link URL tool. You see where my cursor is at. You can also embed images. You can put in equations. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can put in tables. Once you're finished, also if you want to attach a file, you can come over to File, upload the file, choose it. I'm just going to attach a file here real quick. So I'm just going to attach a random file here. We'll attach this biology bingo file. Hit upload. So now you've got an attached file. Once you've got everything in that you want to put, you just click update event. And then this assignment asks you to set up several of those. It asks you to set up 3 items on the course calendar. So do that for 3 different dates. The next thing on the list is to set up a quiz. To do that, you go back to your courses. You go to quizzes. You go to plus quiz. You go to title. So I'm going to call this quiz number 1. You type some directions. All right, you make sure that it's a quiz, it's assignments. Then you go up to questions, and you simply hit new question, type away. So you might say, what is today's date? Type in your answer choices below. So I'm actually creating this on January 24th. Make sure that you come over and you check this little arrow beside the right answer. My right answer is January 24th. You also want to scroll up to the top, here where it says points, and tell the computer how many points you want it to be worth. I want you to make a quiz worth having at least 3 multiple choice questions. So if you made it be 3 multiple choice questions and you were doing a 100-point quiz, you might make it be worth 33.333. Hit enter. Once you do that, then you can hit new question and just keep going until you're finished. Once you're done, you hit save and publish once you put in all 3 questions, or more if you would like. So that's what it looks like right now. I can go through and preview. I also could go through and could lock the quiz. I could choose whether I want to show the students their results. If I go through and edit again, notice under edit, I can tell them when they can get the right answer. I can assign it. I need to make sure I assign it to a specific date. So maybe I want you guys to take this quiz on February 2nd. Notice you can also choose require an access code. If you're teaching an online course, you might want them to have a password to do this. Once you're done, notify users of the change, hit save. The next thing on the list is you probably want to post resources for your students, maybe PowerPoints or Word documents or notes or even videos. You can post all that stuff under Files. So go to Files. The first thing that I would do is set up some folders. So notice there's a plus folder button up in the top right. Click that. Give it a name. So I'm going to call this, my computer didn't like that very much, so I'm going to go back. Click there and tell it, just going to call it resources. Click enter when you're done. Then to upload the files, click into that folder, so open up that folder, and then go to upload. Pick whatever file that you want to do. I ask you to upload a Word document. So there's a Word document. I also ask you to upload a PowerPoint. So upload, choose a PowerPoint from your computer. And I ask you to upload a PDF file. So let's find a PDF. So here's a PDF. So now anything you put in these files, your students can get to and they can use as resources. The next thing I ask you to do is to send out a course announcement with a YouTube video link for your students to watch. So to send out announcements, you go up to Announcements, top left. Before we do this, we need to find a YouTube video. So let's go to YouTube. And let's just do a video that you're supposed to watch for this class. We'll use this one.
Informative assessment.
We need to copy the URL for the video. Go back into our class, click on plus announcement. So I'm going to say watch this video. And all I need to do is just paste the URL into the box. Click enter. It's going to automatically put up a little preview screen that the people who are looking at it will see. You can type text here. You can also attach files if you wanted to attach some kind of supplemental file. You could click choose file to do that. Once you're finished, you hit save. And that message is now sent out to all your students. And you can see the little preview screen that goes with it. That's what the students will see from their side. Once you get all these things set up and play around with other things, you might want to go into assignments. Right now I only have one category of grades. But if you wanted to set up some other categories, you can hit plus group. You might want to group for tests. You might want to group for quizzes. So this is setting up categories for what we might call a weighted average system. You also can go over to the little edit icon, the wheel icon of settings. Go to edit, and you tell it if you want to drop some scores, you can tell it how to do that. You could go into the little drop down here and minimize if you want, but that's allowing you to set up categories. One other thing you probably want to do is to go up to the very top settings box, settings icon, hit that drop down, and tell it how much you want each category to count. So I'm going to count my assignments as 20%. I'm going to count my test as 60%, and my quizzes as 20%, and then hit save. Otherwise, I'd like you to play around with other things that Canvas will do. This is just sort of the beginnings, but you've at least set up sort of a shell of a Canvas course. Once you finish, I want you to send me an email in your UAH Canvas account telling me that you've got it all finished, and that way I'll know to go in and look at it. I'm going to go back to the agenda for today here for a second. Last class, we began working on podcasting and using Audacity. Continue working on that during the week. Remember that this assignment is due on February 16th. You're going to create 2 podcasts and upload those to the Canvas Dropbox. And also between now and next time, you've got 2, these are not readings this week, they're videos. Watch those 2 videos and reflect on those in your blog. Please email me through the UAH Canvas account if you have any problems. I hope everything works out for you, and I'll see you guys next week. By the way, I created this podcast or screencast using the Smartboard screencasting tools.